Hey there everyone, it's Kelly with Kellyscards.ca and welcome to this video. So I thought I would show an album that I've just completed. I had made another album, which there will be a video coming about that album, and I had made my own papers, which I just have them sitting here in the background. These are some of the papers that I made that were in that other album, and I thought it would be a nice backdrop to this video instead of just this white mat. And anyways, I sold that album literally within 2 minutes at the craft show I was at. And I thought I want to do a video just kind of showing this album because I have a show tomorrow. So to get started, this is like another folio type album. I have this wonderful black and gold paper, as you can see from the shine. And I have kind of done a little bit of a different kind of style for me. This is not traditionally what I do. I don't use a lot of doilies and I don't use a lot of layering stuff. Usually in a lot of my books, I like it fairly simple so that the pictures will basically be the main part of the album. But what I've done here is I have sewn a couple pieces here, this gold and black piece to this music paper. And then I have, just for interest, I've added this lighter beige strip across and put a ribbon on, and again with the gold because there's lots of gold in this album. I've taken a doily and I've cut it smaller and I've placed the gold one here, and then this white one which I have inked to add some brown to it. And I basically used the walnut stain ink for this whole album. And I'll just show it to you here. This is what I've been using, the walnut stain. And it really goes on well, and it really darkens up things very well. When you're using dark papers and you want to like ink it up, vintage photo I find with the darker papers, just maybe not quite as dark as what I like. So what I've done is gone with the walnut stain. And just to finish off embellishing, I cut out on my new Cricut the word memories with this font. And then I also cut this envelope out, which I lined and made a tag using some of the other papers from the album. And this is a Simon Says stamp butterfly die. And I've cut that out. And then I've just added some flowers and some little brads and gems there. So as we open it up, I was a little bit struggling with how to kind of do this portion because I wanted to have a pullout, but I want it magnetized. So I magnetized a few different places. So it magnetizes here, and then it magnetizes here, and then it magnetizes here so that this whole piece can open up. There's lots of places for photos in this section. And then of course it also goes that way. So I really like the magnet because it kind of keeps everything just really tidy and closed. And then I just added that captured word, which I stamped, and that stamp is from a Spellbinder stamp set. And then I just added this little kind of loop through, and I thought, you know, there's a lot of like different dragonflies and butterflies throughout some of the paper. I thought I would add that to basically the album. So then I created this diagonal pocket, and this is a very, very large pocket, and these 3 mats come out like this. And I basically used this piece here as kind of a reinforcement because with things going in and out, I didn't want anything to tear. So I put a reinforcement there, which is the black you see, which is on this side. And I wanted to cover it up because it wasn't very pretty. So I added this ribbon along here. And just to close up the end, I added a couple of these little flowers, again with a little gold bling, just to add a little bit extra in there. And so that all slides into there. And just to decorate the bottom, to kind of go from the opening page, the front of the page, I used a doily again, layered up a few things, added another butterfly. This is also a Simon Says stamp die, and it's just the smaller version, a flower, and then I made this on Photoshop and printed that. So going into the inside, I wanted to have a pretty simple page in the middle. I wanted to have a pocket with lots of pullouts. Now this comes from this paper line of the other gold paper that was from Michael's, and I bought just a ton of it because I really liked it a lot. Really nice, and the price point was good, and I love all these little journaling cards that comes in that paper pack. So I basically cut those out and have it in the pocket. For in behind, I've got some of this paper that I have made, as well as I've sewed on some more of this gold and black paper. You can see the stitching there. And then that goes in there. To decorate the outside of the pocket, I wanted to keep it kind of simple and kind of, again, following the rest of the paper line. So I've got more of this music paper, but I have sewn it onto some of this paper just so that you can see the sewing, because I think that adds a lot. And then I've got a black doily here, and this word sparkle, I can't remember what company that was die cut. And I also have a doubled up butterfly, so it's 2 different sizes, and I've cut it with the gold and black paper for the top piece, and then just gold for the bottom piece there, as you can see. And I just like how that looks. And then for this section here, I've got just a couple banners that will also, again, kind of follow through and follow us through the front of the album. Same die that I used to die cut that. And then I've got more of this gold and black paper. I thought it was plain without it, so I've just got this little banner here that says Live in the Moment, and I've made this piece here, and that just unties like that, and then this opens up. Now in some of the past albums I felt like, oh, I have to put stuff here, but I really want to have more space for people to add photos. So I just did a simple banner here, and just like this section here, I did kind of the same thing. Use the paper and then back it on and do sewing. I also added a ribbon, and then I had made my own sentiment here saying, let your dreams take flight. And that kind of goes with all of the little butterflies and dragonflies. And then on the bottom, I had a little Polaroid die. So I cut it out of some of the same paper, and then I used that same Spellbinder stamp set that says Snapshot. And I just grabbed this set. This is the Spellbinders stamp set. And I have to say, I kind of really don't like the quality of this stamp set. This Snapshot didn't really stamp really nice, and I had to fill in with black pen the rest of the word. And I found the same thing with this stamp here, so I was kind of disappointed with it, but I love the sentiments in it. I wish it stamped just a little bit better, but it's this stamp set here, this STP007. But look at the great sentiments. Days like this make me smile. Hello, snapshot, captured this moment. Remember, I mean, a lot of these are perfect sentiments for what I'm doing in these albums. Memories are the delightful little things. I mean, like, really great sentiments here, but I just kind of questioned the stamping quality coming from the set. So anyways, this is what I did on the inside, and then of course this little piece just goes back up. I love this closure. Very, very simple, easy to hide the brads in behind by layering the paper. And then that completes this album. And again, I love these folio albums because they're easier than some of the ones where you have to do all the binding and put it into a cover. And again, by having this room in here, this is a little bigger than a 1/4 of an inch. It's like 3/8 of an inch. And basically this gives me enough room that I can do all this and all this layering, and it's not this huge chunky big album, right? So I really, really like these folio albums, and I don't know if I'm going to make another one with covers and all that again after experiencing just how much nicer it is to make these. So I thought I'd just share that album. I will get to the other video. I've been promising a review video on these picket fence blending brushes, which I love, and I just haven't had an opportunity because I sold that other album so fast. I wanted to make another one for the show that I have tomorrow. So I will be doing a review video on these blending brushes coming up really soon. Just need to get the show out of the way tomorrow, and then I can focus on that. So I hope you enjoyed this album. You can check me out on my website at Kellyscards.ca. You can subscribe for more videos, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day.